Welcome everyone. Welcome to another preview. This is MetalCanyon, and we'll be checking out a game called Atomic Society, the post-apocalyptic town building game by Far Road Games. Now, this game has just very recently come out in early access on Steam, which you can check out down below in the description. There's the link. And I've had this game on my wishlist for a while, because, well, I love city building games ever since I've played SimCity back in the days when I was a kid. You know, the first SimCity and then SimCity 2000 and all of that. And yeah, I love it. And the fact that it blends some of my favorite stuff, city building, management, and a post-apocalypse, well, it's pretty awesome. So, I was having high hopes for this. Did it live up to those hopes? Let's find out. Let's load my game here. Alrighty. The world will go on just the same, only we shan't be in it. Now, as far as I know, this is more of a sort of realistic post-apocalypse. Let me just do something. Let me go to audio and reduce the master volume a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. So anyway, let's shut off the tutorial. Now, like I said before, before you comment on this, like I said, you have to be aware of the fact that this is an early access game. So there's a lot of missing features. There's a lot of things that don't work. There's, and so on and so forth. But I was actually quite pleasantly surprised because the developers have given you a lot of tooltips for various things. Like, for example, if you go to save, it says down on the bottom, note, game may freeze when you press save, but it will work. Saving can take a very long time. We will fix this. Now, that's not something you usually see. There's quite a bit of attention to detail there in the tooltips themselves. You might think it's a little bit silly of me saying this, but I do appreciate stuff like that. Now, of course, at this early stage, there's some balancing issues and so on, and so as you can see that there's a lot of these hammer icons all over the place, which means that because buildings that you place down have durability. Now, you cannot really see the durability of buildings as far as I know until they actually get to a point where they start crumbling, at which point you will get a hammer icon, and that means that you better do something about it. Oops. I interrupted that. You better do something about it or they will crumble. And in fact, a few of the buildings over here I've had did crumble, but that was partly because of a raider attack. So that was not completely, the game's fault. But yeah, this definitely will need some improvement because you've got these little repair shacks. And I've got lots of people, maximum amount of people employed. I've got another one over here, but they're just not doing their job. So anyway, I started right into mechanics where we should just take a bigger look at the game. Now, first of all, yes, it's a post-apocalyptic game. So the story is you come out of some sort of a bunker after years after the nuclear apocalypse. So you decide with a few of your engineers, you persuade a few of the engineers that you can rebuild society, but the rest of the people stay behind. So you arrive at a place which, at the beginning of the game, you can actually choose what kind of a biome you want to be. Desert, arid, tundra, snow, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty interesting. And a citizen made it to old age. Oh yeah, we'll explain that in just a bit. And basically, it's sort of a weird mix of a city builder and personal control. I don't know. Whenever I press space, you go to your character, which at the moment is repairing this building. Now, your character is like a superhuman. Not in game terms, but more like in mechanic terms. It's not that he fights or anything like that, but he can build things and repair things and all the other stuff with the efficiency of maybe 4 other people. So he is very important, and in fact, a lot of the time, I find myself right at this point, because, like I said, the game is a bit unbalanced. He's the only one that will prevent total catastrophe for your town. For example, like I said, I have 2 repair shacks with 8 people. Actually, no, that's a lie. I have 3 repair shacks. See? So that's 12 people working on repairing things around the clock. Yeah, I still have all of these damaged buildings, which, like I said, some of them might have been damaged by raiders, because I don't really have weapons in these towers here. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Yeah, that feels a little bit odd. I'm not sure I really like that feature. In fact, I'm not sure I really like the feature of having control over the leader full stop, because it just feels like a chore, where someone like me that likes to increase efficiency of, you know, his towns and games and stuff, I always need to have the main character work somewhere, either at the this station, at the info station. Raiders will attack any day. You know, I'll get more to that later. Or repairing things, or building things. For example, as you can see, there's some builders over here. One builder building things, even though I have quite a few. Well, I have 4 of them over here. No, 5 of them. Oh, one has been arrested. Okay, let's close that one and reopen it so we get a different person. Okay, the game will have to do that automatically later on. Yeah, I don't quite like that, because then you're just checking all the time what your main character is doing. Is he done? Because he will not do things on his own. And like I said, there's a lot of buildings that need repair, and this will be pretty bad when the raiders attack. Anyway, so down in the bottom left, we have certain needs, because, well, people need water, people need food, people need medicine and medical care, they need housing, and they need entertainment. Yes, this is the post-apocalypse, but, you know, you can still have some entertainment in the form of theaters, taverns, and so on and so forth. So you have to keep these at least above this level, because this is where, the further above this point, the safer your citizens are from dying. Below it, they have problems. So, you know, if you get below this, there are shortages of either medicine, food, water, and so on. So that's pretty nice. It is pretty informative, but it will take... Raiders attacked your town. A small band of raiders crept into your town to cause death and destruction. Any guard towers or garrisons would have defended against the damage. Citizens killed 5, destroyed buildings 1, and damaged 7. So defended 36. This was attack 2 of 2. After the final attack, the raiders will give you a little while to rethink your attitude, then return to make a new deal. It's a bit weird that, you know, they give you this metagaming. Let's see. Which building was destroyed? This one here. What was this? Oh, this was a repair shack. No, it was a latrine. Okay, doesn't matter. So there we go. My guy is now ready, and I have to send him somewhere else. And this is just a normal speed because I'm babbling. You can increase the speed to up to 6 over here to speed things up, which you will be doing because, you know, building and other things take a long time. So now that the raiders have damaged a lot of buildings, we're in a lot of trouble because my repair shack guys are just not seemingly doing many things. A building fell down. There we go. This will happen a lot afterwards. And of course, I have decided not to give the raiders like 45% of my supplies that they wanted. And this is the result. So anyway, you have all of these needs over here. You've got various goals, and you've got the news, which honestly, I don't really use much. It's very difficult to find anything of value in there. Because it talks about various people, and there's just a lot of things going on, like Ella Posick, a vegetarian, is refusing to eat meat and work at any livestock ranch. Sam Darting, an elderly survivor, passed away peacefully in the Elder's End structure. You know, it's individual people, and remember, we have 210 of them right now, out of 350, and I think the developers are thinking about allowing you to have as many as you want later on for sort of a free build or sandbox thing. Ah, the prison went down. Brilliant. That's nice. So anyway, the environment is quite nice. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I still had the game on my wish list, but, you know, when I was looking at the screenshots, I thought, it doesn't look that great. But of course, like always, screenshots can be very misleading, both ways. You know, they can look much better than the game actually is, or in this case, they may look, for some reason, worse than the game actually is. I'm not sure why that was, but that's how I felt. Anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised that the game looks quite good, unless you zoom in a lot, which, you know, then shows the fairly low resolution textures, and I'm not sure what that is, but honestly, that doesn't really matter, because most of the time you will be looking at your town from this perspective, from, you know, from far away. So, let me get to the building point. This being an early access game, it's quite interesting that there's quite a lot of buildings. You can see here that I've got a few, well, quite a few ranches, and I'm still running out of food, bloody hell. Let's have some greenhouses as well, actually. I've lost one over here, I know that for a fact. And of course, you know, this presents a different problem, that my guy is fully occupied. Come on. I know there wasn't a greenhouse here before, but I thought I could squeeze it in there. Right, let's put the greenhouse here. You can see that the game also changes, or terraforms the, well, not terraforms, but changes the landscape to accommodate a flat building site. Now this is fine, but at the same time it does create some sort of weird stuff. As you see here, the water well and the dew collector is floating above the ranch because I placed it down here, and it creates this sort of ugly, you know, differences in height, which, you know, it wouldn't really bother me that much, but it also seems to affect how people move along. Well, no, it doesn't. No, I take that back. Okay, my guy is ready. See, I was slacking. Oh wow, my repair guys have actually started working. Look. They've started doing things. Nice. Okay. Well, great. That was my bloody hospital. That was a bloody hospital. Insufficient hospital staff for women to give birth safely. Wonderful. Okay, you know what? Forget repairing that. Go and loot this. You have to loot the remains before you can place anything there. So my guy is now running over there. Yeah, a really weird thing is that you can, when you focus on your main character, you can use WASD to move him around, and that of course cancels any other things he might be doing, which is a little bit annoying if you don't get out of that mode, the leader mode. And now I can see that I'm placing buildings where they have to actually go around them. Yeah, that's not so great. Anyway, that's a pretty big setback, and that was a result of the raiders. I should have given priority to that, I suppose, but, well, there you go. Anyway, yeah, we have quite a lot of buildings to construct. We have various food and water buildings here. And remember, this is just going to expand once, you know, the game gets updated more and more. We have various housing, so the basic shack, tenement, luxury house, luxury tower, and so on and so forth. And everything, of course, has a certain amount of material it needs. And the game does a nice job of telling you just how much you have. You have found a special item. While searching this ruin, you discovered a rare item that can boost your abilities. Mouse over to see what you found. You found a rusty toolkit containing several useful tools. Helps town leaders repair structures faster. Okay, does he have both of them now? I hope so. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Just go to this greenhouse and build it. Help build. See, because there's no... Because my constructors are over here and the others are, I don't know, picking their nose somewhere. Look at this. This is going 72, 73, 74. And in this amount of time, look at my guy. 8, 9, 10. I don't know if it makes a difference what you're building, but yeah, he's a pretty superhuman being. So at the same time, I hate the fact that I have to micromanage him, but at the same time, it's also nice because he actually gets things done. Okay, so yeah, you've got lots. You've got medical stuff. You have to make sure there's enough latrine so the plague doesn't spread. As you can see, some of the corpses over here are well, they're off-gassing, shall we say. So you have to make sure there's enough latrines for everyone. But of course, these corpses are just people that have died either of the plague or of old age or something else. And we have some crematoriums over here that burn the bodies. Otherwise, plagues can spread quite rapidly, which is not very good. But again, I have 2 crematoriums, and it seems like there's still a lot of bodies around every now and then. That's one thing where I wish the game would make amends, or, well, not amends, but would be better at showing you information. Just exactly how much population one building can serve, for example. So now that the theater has been built, we can start to employ workers, which, if you have enough, that will happen, well, very rapidly when you click on the employ workers. That's another area I wish the game would tell you over here, for example, how many people are unemployed. So you always know how many people you still have to employ in your buildings. So you could say, oh, I'll just build, 1,000 ranches. Well, that's not really going to help you with food because there's not enough people to work them. So this one is finished. Let's help with that structure. Let's employ workers here. You can also, close the different positions if you want. So, for example, in the prison, I usually like to have only 2 people working because I don't have that many imprisoned people. So yeah, there's a lot of various buildings you can build. I think I've built most of them. So that's the building part. And like I said, you have to take care of having enough water, food, and so on and so forth. And of course, you also scavenge. Now, that's mostly done by hand at the early parts of the game. From places like this, the ruined playground, which we've completely stripped out, or this place, which we also have. Then this place has masonry, metal, lumber, miscellaneous, and so. But it's really nice that every little thing that you see can be salvaged. For example, this car can be salvaged. This lamppost can be salvaged. There was even a... There we go. There's even a signpost here that can be salvaged, but of course we've already salvaged it fully. That's pretty cool. The trees cannot be salvaged for wood for some reason. There's no lumberjacks available. I'm assuming that's going to be something later on. But then again, the post-apocalyptic environment isn't that good for wood. Even though, looking at it now, there's quite a few trees around. I mean, there's no forests, but there's quite a few trees around. This could be a nice place. Batteries. Now, as far as managing your town, there's an interesting feature here. Let's send my guy over here. Boop. This is the town hall. And when you click on it, you get issues, beliefs, and stats. So for example, stats, you get a nice little thing where it says, how many citizens you have, how many elderly, children. And then you've got your basic needs, sex and births. You've got the defenses, number of buildings that are currently at risk from being attacked by raiders, 18. Yeah, that's not very good. And then you've got one of the most important things, core issues. Number of culture critics. These people receive less morale per visit. Build a perfectly equal number of morale structures to appease them. Oh, a perfectly equal. Okay. Elderly citizens, plague. Oh, diarrhea. That's because of lack of latrines. There's the plagues. Oh, you have visitors. The raiders have finished attacking you, for now. Enough fighting. Let's stop the violence and be friends. Isn't that what adults do? Give in to us and you won't need to build and maintain defenses anymore. Civilized people know how to trade. The raiders are shown into your town hall where they present you with yet another demand. How will you react? Change your immoral laws. I'm the boss around here and I set the laws. Change one of your immoral decisions. Your current choice sickens me. What do they want? Faced with little alternative but being invaded, you reluctantly agree to their offer. Your people thank you for taking the safest option. If you agree, your solution for euthanasia will be changed to tolerate and cannot be changed back until the timer is up. What? Resist. Forget about it. You better leave now. We don't care if you attack us. We can defend ourselves. Send the raiders away without submitting. They will attack you multiple times before returning with a new choice. These attacks can be devastating if you lack upgraded towers. Okay, so that's a bit odd. I mean, obviously this is probably random, but raiders demanding that euthanasia be changed to tolerate? Okay. Alright, I'll agree to this for now. The raiders thank you for updating your moral code and go into your town hall to make sure your laws are improved. The solution for euthanasia has been changed. The raiders are now satisfied with your town's morals. The raiders thank you for seeing sense and submitting. They will be back with more demands at some point in the future. So we've avoided more attacks. Okay, so down here we've got social issues. Murders in the last month. Active slavers, total number of slaves, hardened criminals, vegetarians. Now you can see that there's vegetarians here and homosexuals and, you know, other things. But there's a very good reason because, well, homosexuals, they don't produce children. Vegetarians will not eat meat and will even die because they don't want to eat meat. You've got some cannibals, you know, so there's all these issues that you can choose to act on or not, which is done in the issues thing. For example, vegetarians. Some citizens have started treating animal life as if it's sacred. They're refusing to work at a ranch or eat meat, even to the point of starvation, but their choice leaves more meat for others. Now, when you have an issue, I don't really have any right now, unfortunately, but you can decide what to do about them. For example, when I had citizens perform murder, I had... Okay, let's go and repair this. I had to decide whether to punish them by giving them a short prison sentence, a long prison sentence, or even an execution. Or I could tolerate it via the info station and, you know, blast my propaganda by saying that we tolerate that and do nothing about it, or we tolerate and encourage murder. So you can create some pretty interesting stuff in your town that way. But of course you need supporting structures. So for example, if I wanted to imprison them, I would need my prison, which is now gone. What are you doing? You're doing... Oh, you're at work at a crematory. You're doing nothing there. Huh, weird. Anyway, the other quite interesting thing, which I don't think I've seen in the game before, well, there might be, but is the belief system. Right at the beginning of the game, you decide what your main character's belief is. Of course, I chose atheist. But there's lots of other people in your town which have different religions, like Catholic, Jain, Satanist, and unknown. And there's so many to pick from. It's pretty crazy. And when you build up your town hall and info station and other things, you can decide what to do about these people. Would you like to exile them all because they're not of your religion or lack of religion? Do you want to torture them, which is going to change them to your belief system very quickly, but might, you know, induce some terrorist attacks or responses? Or you can educate them, which is a peaceful way by, you know, telling them the benefits of your belief, and that converts them. But unfortunately, that only works when your character, again, is working personally at the info station, which I find myself doing less and less because there are so many buildings to repair all the time. But like I said, that's just a matter of balancing, or the game telling you just how many, you know, repair shacks I mean you need for a town this size. Which brings me to another sort of issue. The people move so slowly. So for example, none of these people are really idle, I bet. This guy is going to chapel. This guy, okay, this guy is actually unemployed because he's a kid. These are all kids. This guy is a scavenger going to work. These are kids. So you see, all of these people are actually going to work, but they move extraordinarily slowly, which means that scavengers, for example, from these scavenging huts that go around and scavenge the various items in the world, and builders and repair shack guys, they're all moving extraordinarily slowly. They do get things done, but extremely slowly. You know, which again, case in point, is the bloody repair thing. Oh, look, they just repaired this. Or they are repairing it. The water well. It's just a little bit annoying that happens. I wish they would either speed that up or, you know, just make buildings crumble a little less fast, quickly. Okay, what did I want to say? That's the belief system. Oh yeah, the belief system. I wanted to say more about that. It seems very interesting, but unfortunately it's kind of a weird system where, see, I played this game now a little bit that I'm scared when my character is not doing anything because he's wasting his potential, so I have to get him to do something else. The belief system seems very interesting at the beginning, but the thing is, you have enforcers, right? You said that murder gets you a long prison sentence. Homosexuality, I'm tolerating, so we do nothing about that. But, for example, if someone murders someone, my enforcers will go out, I think this is an enforcer outpost, yeah, there we go, and try to arrest people. Now, here's the really weird thing. They will only be able to arrest people of your belief. So, for example, if an atheist commits a murder, we can arrest him. But if a Catholic commits a murder, we cannot arrest him. That makes no sense. I wish that was changed completely, this mechanic. I wish there was something different that could be done with this. Maybe, I don't know, some sort of elections or something. But then again, if it was elections, you could quickly lose control of your town, you know, and this would become the pressing issue to make sure that everyone is of your belief. I don't know. It's just weird. Because on the other hand, if you ignore the whole arrest and, you know, obeying the laws and everything, this means very little. There's really no point in converting anyone to your belief system, apart from the fact that otherwise they will not follow your rules. Which is, again, just weird. There you go. Currently, 40% of townsfolk respect this and submit to your enforcers. The rest resist them. I don't know what happens. Actually, I might be wrong there. Enforcers might still be able to, excuse me, arrest people. But maybe they can resist them, maybe they can die doing it, and so on. So, right now, my repair guys have actually done some stuff, so that's good. They'll need to get rid of this as well, or my character will, and I will place a prison there. Oh yeah, we also need to place a hospital over here, which we've lost, which is quite annoying. Uh-oh. No, come on. I know I've placed it in a really sort of specific way before, but I need my hospital here. Ah, darn it, yeah. See, this is the next problem. It's not gonna allow me to do that, so I'll need to place it somewhere else. Oh, darn it. That's, it's not great. Let's place it over here, then. We need that hospital. You can see how it changes the landscape. There. I'll place it here. Hospital, quite important. Now that my guy is in the info station, he will slowly be converting all the others that I've chosen to educate into my own belief system. So there's also raiders, which is, you know, just a dialogue thingy for now. I hope that will be changed later on. Now you can defend your town via these guard towers. So most of the stuff is covered for now. You can also provide weapons for them by using the blacksmith over here. Well, you build it and then they use salvaged metal to build weapons. There is no scavenging out into the, you know, into the other parts of the world, because frankly, each of these places gives you quite a lot of salvage. So, and because there's quite a few of them around, I don't think you'll run out that quickly. Unless you were playing for a very long time. Did I miss anything else? Any other interesting stuff? I mean, again, this is a city builder. You know, a part of me really wishes there would be actual combat involved in the game. Actual, you know, people fighting other people. Or, especially because, well, I'm a nerd, mutated monsters and mutants and stuff like that. That would be great. You know, they might go that way or they might not. I'm not sure, but I really like where this game is going. I have to say, despite all the shortcomings right now, which really are, you know, just early access things that they can improve and balance and so on and so forth, I'm really liking it. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's not top of the line graphics or anything, but you don't need it. I mean, for far off, it looks pretty nice. I do wish they would change the landscaping a little bit, so it wouldn't create these you know, weird things. Maybe allow the buildings to be at a slight angle or something as well. Or maybe give you a landscaping tool, which I'm not sure they would. Anyway, yeah, I quite like this. It's a nice balance of trying to get all of these bars to stay up as much as possible, which I'm not doing a very good job of right now, probably because of the raiders. And it's just a fun city building game, and I'm looking forward to what they will be, what else they will be doing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little preview of Atomic Society. And check out my Patreon in the meantime, and all the links are down below if you wish to check out this game yourself. Have a good one. Bye-bye.